Nami obviously dropped out of popularity after a massive tear, but is now back again. See how aggressive Chitan and Curry can be in this bottom lane 2v2.
He held it, so this is fairly free, and that's why I think paiN said, we're not messing with that. We're just going to take the Drake and to be completely happy with this trade.
That said, giving you know, any grubs to a Tristana, even a nerfed Tristana,
True.
always can be a bit of a difficult prospect as safe champion on side lane, can accrue those gold leads really rapidly, take through or shred through plates if given the chance. MF not the best tower taker. It's not a Jinx, so you're not as worried about the bot laner. Does see the control ward there, but opts to walk away. Maple coming up. No ulti makes this a little bit difficult.
Is
he just here for the money? Oh man, I love that move. Now forced to ulti, getting lower and lower. The extra resistances do not matter. One more auto should finish the job, but they don't quite have the damage. He's not running forward. He knows he might have a chance to kill Maple, but he's got not a lot left. Good footwork. Baits Aja into thinking he's going for the mid laner and instead jumps back to safety. Highlighted.
6 grubs. Might be 6 grubs.
Is big, and paiN behind the play a little bit. Jack's likely going to push wave into tower. Betty has, or not Betty, excuse me, Maple has TP to respond if he wants to. Instead, we might see the 5v5. Woody getting things kicked off. Immediate Rumble ulti, but Chitan uncontested on the side. Good calling initially to start things off, but they're only hitting the tankiest member of the team. Maple already starting to back away. First blood for the CB Law for paiN Gaming. So they're only going to get 1 grub back, but a positive start.
And again, just really good micro from paiN. They played that fight extremely well.
Vision setup with more members in the area are free to start the objective.
I think they're just going to get it. Misfortune and Tristana are too far away, so that second Drake already secured for paiN. And in terms of first 13 minutes of the game, they're going to take these. When you consider PSG, you can have the kind of more team-focused, not Heartsteel Skarner. Geez, I forget the name of the item. The Sejuani has it.
Instantly going to see that all. It's a quick pick. As we look away for about a moment, Betty's ult not able to do enough work as Chitan and Curry. Now the response, though, this is going to be very difficult for Weiser to hold. And the tower down top lane as well. Maple there to pick up that money, and PSG going to grab 2 towers. One will be traded back. So a bit of an awkward exchange overall. 1.5k gold lead now for the side of PSG. They obviously take towers much faster, and with the Tristana on side lane with 5 grubs, you can see how quickly that tier 2 is going to fall.
Up towards the red buff as well. That's where the Yone or the Jax is going to want to approach from.
Jax going around the corner. Have they marked the ward in the brush? Looks like the answer is yes. Hovering off to the side. Rumble now coming in. Objective. Jinkato immediately going to try to kick things off. A lot of burst used on the Skarner. To little effect thus far. Junja with flash, with smite. Objective in their sights, bursting it down. They get the objective. PSG have a wave to play on, but can only push it out and walk away for these plays. And they are powerful. They just have yet to find that circumstance where they can really leverage their advantage. Initial pick onto Junja. They know that he has no flash. That Skarner ult is doing, or excuse me, the Rumble are doing a decent amount of work. Skarner now making his way out. Jinkato trying to follow up, taking the jungle out of the equation. Immediate snap back over for Jinkato. He will not drop. We're in trouble now too. Weiser in the midst of everybody, but a perfect input buffer from Maple means he will walk away. PNG, what can they get off of that pick?
Turret as Sejuani and Nami are both recalling. And we got some chance here in the studio for a potential upset Game 1 win by paiN.
But against the MF, because you see the tidal wave thrown out early, that initial overcommit into that choke point could have killed them, but the tidal wave says for the next 3 to 4 seconds, you cannot get ult.
Lucian?
And now Chitan doing good damage on Maple. Jinkato trying to follow up, flash over the wall, tidal wave not doing much, but Junja now forced to walk away. Soul. What is important here? PSG, can they get into the pit? Junja has the E. He should be able to get to the wall if he wants to, but PSG trying to play through the bottom side. Immediate stun now coming in. That's the ultimate. They get it! Infernal Soul for paiN Gaming in Game 1. Now a quick retreat. PSG desperate to find a fight, desperate to force something back. Or the Zonya's there, but either way, highly impactful in the fights to come. Knowing that Rumble doesn't have ulti either, Jinkato just continues to fish with these knockups. Junja is so squishy against these champions. The tank jungler, not tanky at all. PNG continuing to find picks. 5-0 the kill score in their favor.
They have a lot of gold in inventory, but with the enemy jungler down, they might go straight for Baron. Oh no, he's interrupted!
Woody, pick off to the side. Jinkato should just knock. Or get knocked down here.
He was planning on teleporting straight back in, but now we have a fight.
In, immediate ult, the stun not going to connect. Nice knockback coming in from Maple. But Betty now going to be the one in trouble. Chitan on the front line. So much damage coming through. PSG being pushed back into enemy territory. They need to find a way out of this one. Karaoke going over the wall. Knock up there. Another member return right back to the objective. Ult, the potential for a combo here feels like PSG's angle out, but it's so difficult to set up when they're so far behind. And when paiN Gaming are playing with such confidence, instantly punishing Junja. Over the wall, Wiser now coming in. Quick stun, ulti not even gonna come through. paiN Gaming, they got the pick they wanted. Jungler out of the equation, not a 50-50 anymore. Baron belongs to them.
PSG just can't fight back. paiN's been completely relentless. Tristana was pushing mid. There's no one that's able to re-engage to help the Skarner. And now they're on Baron with no smite. They could finish or they could peel early.
Betty's ult is going to be big here, but Curry has ult as well. Can just throw it in. Jinkato poking. Objective low, but there's no smite. Kirk doesn't have smite.
Oh, geez.
This is, oh no. Not like this. Not like this, paiN Gaming.
Oh my goodness.
Don't do your namesake justice. Brazil does better than engage. Now coming in. Jinkato going to get over the wall. McKee drives to the Baron. Baron getting lower. Doesn't matter. Betty taken out. PNG. The smite. Just in time. Coming out. But G-Ton is clutch. It might have been messy, but when it matters, he stands up.
Just like they drew it up. Let's bait PSG into the Baron pit. Let's get the smite. They only lose one. Staring match with Baron at 1600 and no smite was crazy. Yone can't even get out the back of the pit. Sejuani seems like he's gonna die. Yone sacrifices his life for it, but then the smite actually comes up as the next Baron auto literally would have killed the Sejuani, and then Titan. Just absolute beast mode at the end of that fight. Patient as they have been throughout this entire game. The Lucian has enough range that he can kill these turrets. The Baron is going to help them extend their gold lead. It's probably going to end up going to Elder just because they are generally a short-range team.
If someone steals an Elder with 4 members on their team still alive, that team fight gets a lot more even.
And here we go. I think they're going to fight before Elder.
Junja, again, just going to get picked off here. paiN Gaming, eyes on their perfect target. Now, Wiser stepping in. Quick pick on Aja as well. He goes golden, but for what? He's just delaying the inevitable. paiN Gaming, they don't even need the Elder. Just stepping near it is enough to bait in PSG. The TP's now coming through as well. The Jax is damn powerful, but this is a confident move. Titan goes in. 1-2 punch there. 80 carrying top lane together. Betty, there's just nothing they can do. Maple down for the count. paiN Gaming in game 1 for a few minutes looked like PSG had it figured out. Like it might be an inevitable conclusion that they'd be able to outplay. But after those few minutes, paiN Gaming finding the picks, finding the kills, finding the setup, their patience paying off. Playing better in game 1, pick after pick, objective after objective. paiN Gaming make the upset happen in game 1, even if they lose someone to the fountain.
And Dracos, a dominant game 1 was expected. What wasn't expected is that it would be paiN. Rel Braum is okay. So the lane is fine. I'm just trying to think about the rest of the champions. So, 3 people that have to go in. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think that the 2 strengths of Braum, right, are mitigating 80 carry impact and making any diver's life a living hell. Because concussive blows, you can't outplay it.
Also onto Woody, and that buys them space to move towards this Drake. With that being said, the Skarner is very obviously top lane as well, and it's similar story to game 1 where paiN is going to take the early Drake. They're going to give away the early grubs. And we know how that one turned out. They stacked the soul and managed to win the game. So paiN's going to be very happy taking this trade one more time.
Maple did pretty well, and the isolated 1v1 means might be able to leverage that grub buff a bit more on a side lane. You want Berserker Screams. It's such a good first item purchase, but oftentimes in lanes like this, you feel like just getting the early MR out of Mercs, the extra movement speed, helps so much more.
Yeah, he's going to be really delayed, and this could be a kill.
Lockdown there. Wiser in trouble, but the initial damage coming in for the Rumble is massive. Over the wall is the buy, trying to finish it. Wiser still living! He's still alive. Juju wants to fall, but the shield is now coming through! He's overheating. Big R. Aji holding on. First blood, they managed to finish the kill. Now trying to get out the Q round. Trying to get close to Aji. One more second. No, the Dente blow's not enough. Desperate to finish the kill. Oh, God, a game! Not even inches, centimeters, millimeters, decimeters, but PSG come out on top.
Game of pixels. I can't believe that Rumble ticked out at the end of that.
It means that while he'll still get value out of the knockup and the ult and fights, his net damage output is so much lower than it would be with any other item. Because now you can see Maple just threatening Cheeton in the picture-in-picture there. paiN Gaming determined to set up for grubs. It'll only take PSG getting 1 to get them the might spawn. As Junja starting to speed forward, finds the initial CC, the initial knockup. Ulti now coming back to Curry. They've blocked up 2 members, but a Jinkato off to the side, hoping to bring it back. Braum Unbreakable does a little bit of work. Faja doing a lot of damage down, and paiN Gaming might just be better in the fight. Woody getting caught up, but they want a little bit more. Betty locked up. Maple not quite able to hit on the shuriken flip. Aja coming in, though, and he's just untouched. The Gnar ready to take over, but he needs to start stacking range, but he's just tired. He has the debuff on. He can't stack anything. Finally now getting it. victory there. Maple trying to finish. Captive audience not going to hit. Bloodbath on the top side of the map, and still only a single grub taken down.
Or falling to the Yone.
And while Maple's in a decent position, he just cannot finish these kills off. Jinkato, the edge, the shuriken flip not hissing. paiN Gaming able to grab the dragon in the meantime.
Oh boy.
And you look back for paiN Gaming, right? This is an organization.
Against paiN after they drop game one. Still in a relatively comfortable position, but I think definitely a lot sweatier than it was 2 minutes ago. Now that the second Drake has gone over to paiN, knowing how they won the first game by stacking Drakes.
And honestly, Maple's been that clutch guy for so many different lineups or so many different names. Have to be that again. Here's Visor getting picked off. Aja looking to carry some of that burden himself as Aja cannot even lane. Cheaton on the way down, only level 8.
Maple really continue to accelerate him in the game. And if they can also kind of slow play this bot lane and get 2 outer turrets with really no retaliation possible, it's going to likely blow open a lot more of this game. No one can step up to Maple right now with that Storm Surge being completed. He's just going to one-shot them.
It's such an infuriating kind of to play against because he hits the initial chunk. You're like, all right, I've lost the start of the trade, and now he's Sonic the Hedgehog, and there's no chance in hell I'm ever getting away from him. That feels good. Looking for a play on the bot side. Respect the PNG are consistently looking for these angles, but you can see in the MasterCard lane economy snapshot that the economy not favoring them right now.
I don't think they can do anything at this turret, actually.
Q flash, Junja on the way in. A lot of base damage coming in strong there. Now she's just taking his time. Doesn't even have Mega yet. Just continues to autos, gets those hyper procs, and they'll finish off Visor here in the bottom lane. Follow up with the ultimate. But Junja in a pretty good spot. That proc is in trouble. Cheaton maybe can offer him a way to get out. Immediate ulti coming through. Sidestep by all 3 members of PSG. Cheaton in the midst of the enemy team. Jinkato, Q3 ready to go. But Maple behind him, he's going to snap back. Maple's immediately going to be on top of him. The shuriken flip misses, however. A little bit tragic as Aja TP's in. Not to a lot of effect here, but was ready just in case the fight did break out. Continue to push that tier 2. It's going to force the recall from the Yone, but Maple instead might just reset and be ready to TP if he needs to. paiN Gaming looking to kick this fight off.
Yeah, they just want to flip it.
Lockdown there onto Karaoke. Should just be an immediate kill onto the Vi. Excellent follow-up coming as well from the Gnar. And now Woody trying to disrupt the rest of the fight. Jinkato in the midst of the fight, but he does not have the ulti. Q3 going to be taken out to safety. PSG striking back in this game too.
Expected from PSG coming into this World Championship where these fights don't feel super climactic, but it's because they always have pressure somewhere, and paiN can never feel like they're in the right spot. So you could see paiN really wanted to contest that Drake, but they didn't have any waves pushed, they had poor vision, and they just didn't have a good entry into the fight. So well played here by PSG through the majority of this game too.
In the face of the Sejuani, but in this game where he's so tanky and so far ahead, very hard for them to lead him, but not quite going to be the catch of curses. Woody's in the midst of the entire team. Karaoke now trying to retreat. Maple, big damage coming from that Storm Surge. Ulti coming through as well, interrupting the fate sealed from Jinkato. The curtain call won't quite finish up Curry, and now PSG can take their sweet time if they do want to start at that Baron.
PSG wants, I think they're willing to dive these side lanes if they find the right look, but if they don't, they still have 5 grubs. They get the majority of the turret every time they move up with a wave, and it's just a matter of time until they extend the gold lead.
paiN Gaming hoping maybe that a member of PSG will be caught out. Really, the only member who could be vulnerable would be Betty, but he's always so far back that there's not much risk.
Yeah, and now that they've killed this bot turret, you can see they moved through the jungle.
But they'll always be doing it at a gold and vision disadvantage as Junja starting things off. Suppression there, stopping Rumble from ulting. Visor in trouble. Will he get anything else done? Desperation ult to little effect, and that's the risk of stepping up into territory you do not control.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hold a little bit, make sure Baron isn't getting started, although it's going to take about 45 seconds for PSG to kill Baron if they started it. But this is the plan that we thought PSG would have. They push mid wave, they get a pick, they move towards top wave.
3 lanes of pressure.
More damage.
Jinkato forced to go back. Q3, immediate ulti. Vi there to body block, crucially. Or it would have just been a kill. But now another tier 2 falling. Gnar already splitting in the bottom lane. Someone needs to match, but Yone needs to go back to base, which makes everything so damn tricky. Bit of poke onto Junja maybe slows the Baron, but again, Baron probably not their priority with this particular composition. Is now a desperation pick on the side lane. Can they take out the Gnar? Jinkato on the way in. Woody here to cover as well. Aja waiting for the ulti, waiting for the perfect time. Flash in, massive engage. Aja still standing. Knock back on 2-3. Doesn't have to throw them into the wall. Doesn't think he has the range, but Maple's there. And Maple has more than enough damage to do the work himself. Maple
Betty just cleaning up Cheeton, the last man standing.
I think that's probably going to do it. PSG with a dominant game 2 here, only 24 minutes in, looking to finish off the ace. But even if they don't, they're going to be pushing these Nexus turrets right away. Is ever next to them? PSG is going to snap engage, especially with the Skarner.
Through the wall,
Yeah,
into the wall. There's the snap engage as predicted. We've seen that exact engage twice this game, I want to say. And this time the ulti catching Curry. Mid animation as he goes back, so support out of the game. Cheeton stepping up here. Junja immediate flash in, tries to find the knockback. Cheeton living for a brief extra moment, but they're gonna need to block with everything they've got. Have to be careful of the curtain call as well. So many things to take into account, but Cheeton's still alive. Maple, though, finally joining the fight. The damage from the Akali is good. Cario giving his life just to get his team out.
Agains. Okay, it's like a 15-second Baron, and that's without Maple. Okay, now we're 15 seconds. So it is slow. Like, you can see why they haven't done it.
They're hilariously ahead.
That was a 20-second.
Yeah, that took forever. In the context of this lead, any other AD carry with that lead, that thing dies in half the time.
Maple continues to threaten on side. They don't have a ton of range, they don't have a ton of poke. Although, as I said, the Maple might be ready to go in.
Just thinking about it.
But the wave clear on the side of paiN, not great either. Immediately, they're going to try to follow up. Nice disruption coming from Junja. They find a shutdown initially. Knockback into 2, though. Nar and Skarner together doing work. The beefy boys on the front line getting it done as Maple comes in to clean up. Cheeton going in, trying to finish on Maple. He doesn't hit the Q. Oh, he gave everything he had. One last desperation effort, and PSG, they've only got 3 creeps. But now with the bot lane coming in, they should just end it here.
Yeah, pretty respectable engage there by paiN, down this much gold, being able to get 2 kills, but that was always going to be the final outcome when they try to have that last fight. 2 Nexus turrets down, and soon to be followed by Nexus.
Nexus will fall as well. PSG striking back in game 2 to tie the series up.
The biggest breaking point for me here is how Maple will do in that mid lane matchup against the Syndra, because the Vayne should be able to get pushed. It's about avoiding the Lee Sin ganks as much as possible. Hurts. Okay, here we go.
Set up on the bot side. Level 3 there. Nice knockup. The cleanse isn't going to help there. Lockup now coming in. The root not going to do much of anything. Betty now in trouble. Minion wave doing a decent amount of damage, but Cheeton should just be able to grab that first kill. Nice use of the hawk shot to keep him standing. Cario now looking to follow up onto Woody. Junja is here. Lisa needs to be careful. Junja early burst isn't going to be that crazy. Alistair already up. Curry hoping to mitigate this a little bit. Q in to try to follow. Clone now coming out, but the lockup is there. Leona passive, offering that bit of extra damage to make sure Junja can secure. And now it's Curry who's forced to flash away.
That they'd be able to bait outplay this one, as that's a gank.
Kato in trouble. Flash forward. Maple finishes. Junja there to tank the tower shot, stop Maple from dropping down.
I mean, they do have the numbers advantage here. Aja doesn't look like he's interested in teleporting down, so yeah, I think PSG is totally fine giving away these 3 grubs just for more gold and XP onto the Vayne. Good roam up there by paiN, though, getting the grubs relatively uncontested, especially since they can teleport bot to match that Vayne.
And while it's frustrating because you will lose some plates on the bottom side, you know, the Vayne with a bigger advantage, with grubs, the ability to shred through those plates even faster in the future, would only feel worse. So paiN choosing a little bit worse up front, then a little bit worse later. But Junja here, Wajir has to be so careful. If he gets knocked into a wall, more than enough damage to finish the job before he can turn into Mega. He doesn't even have the Ninja Tap he completed yet. But luckily, Curry, again, in the area. And credit to him, he's been consistently in the right place across these games. Good knock-up, level 5 there, marked before the clone could come out. Now trying to get away, but Carioca just following up instantly. Wajir on the way in, level 7, gonna pick up the kill. A little stop juke comes out from Junja, but nobody's falling for it. Quick kill back, and paiN giving credit to them, finding the angle.
I think they just get this, which is, I'm a little bit surprised. It felt like PSG had control of this game, but now they've lost 3 grubs, they've lost first Drake, and they haven't extended their gold lead. So quietly, paiN has really jumped back into this game.
Yeah, very close. You know, still losing out a little bit on the laning phase, but Syndra's wave clear is so much safer than the Yone. So he doesn't have to just eat half of his health bar to delete a wave to try to avoid a dive, which just puts him in a much more comfortable position. Is now Aja gonna get kicked backwards. Q does manage to connect anyway. Aja spotted out there. That invisibility not doing anything against the Lee Sin. Good pick from paiN Gaming.
Wasn't allowed to be there.
Certainly wasn't. Downside is it's probably going to cost them the respawn of the scrubs, but they already picked up 3 earlier on. Trading 3 for 3, not going to feel too bad for them. Will concede a plate as Curry, maybe not the ideal person to hold a lane.
will cost him about half a wave there as Wydrift does finally show up. Titan, excuse me, has to be careful about not stepping too far forward here, but Clen's so high value against this bot lane duo means he's still relatively safe.
Wukong finishing up the grubs. Maple trying to get as much gold as possible in the side lane. Not as accelerated as he was in the last game. Once he gets his Storm Surge, though, he's still going to be a huge threat.
In the Gnar versus paiN. Actually, it's a winning matchup. We were
paiN
wrong.
has to scale, apparently.
Needs a bit more time as PSG have decent vision control, but with Gnar able to get first move and having Mega, this is a really tough fight to navigate. Just here, Betty and Woody are so low, and Betty doesn't have ulti. So a bit of a spectator objective there. Window shopping for that particular Drake, but paiN Gaming had more money, had more resources, so they're actually going to be the ones to walk into the store and buy it. Enough points in queue. Even Jin has to build items to supplement that wave clear. That said, PNG, only 3 people in the area. You've got Gnar waiting off the side. Look at Weiser's rage management, perfectly ready to go. If a fight does break out, we'll start to tick away, but not too far off Mega.
They go first.
Taking their time on Woody. They don't need to overcommit resources. Weiser now charging up the Mega. A good initial pick. Junja trying to buy a bit more space, buy a bit more time. Jungler already taken off the board. Junja still running, still living for an extra moment. But the knockback is there. Weiser just completely whiffing. Knockback whiffs again. Gnar missing everything. PSG outplaying it. Now Aja, this is the perfect circumstance. He just wants to chase these kills out. Maple is there as well. The dynamic duo, the solo lanes. PSG trying to play cleanup as Betty returns to the mid lane. paiN is going to have a hell of a time running you down.
Thinking about a dive bot. That's a Mega Gnar, though.
Weiser.
They're going to kill the turret first.
Ulti back up. Gonna go in, go for the pushback into the wall, get a little bit of damage down, but no one is in the area. Meanwhile, his team already trying to take down other objectives. Weiser taken out of the equation, but it's tier 1 top. Traded in return. Mid lane, I believe, under pressure as well. So 2 towers taken down for 1. paiN Gaming in a decent spot. They want to continue to trade up. No one has taken the Herald. It's not the center of attention. Instead, so much more about pressure on these side lane objectives. And we're just getting a bit of a side lane race.
Are going to take 2 as well. I think they're just agreeing to give each other money. Which, if you could do this in real life, I think a lot of people would.
Guys, I've figured out economics. I've never read anything about it. I don't know anything about it. But what if we both give money?
We're just both going to accelerate the game. You have 2 core items.
They see Maple top. They know he has to TP in. They're hoping that they can just burn this down, that they can just get themselves into soul point. Weiser with the ultimate. He has to be better in this fight. Maple's already on the flank. Cheeton now going to be in trouble. The arrow completely whiffs in terms of overall timing out. Cheeton is going to be in trouble. E1 connecting. E2 ready to go forward. Can't kick him back in time. The execution once again from PSG is just better.
Wow, that was so close. They almost missed the smite on the Drake. It went down to 13.
Can he get into the pit?
Stop it.
Doesn't have ulti. 5K getting lower. Jinkato closer and closer. 3K, they're going to try and burst it. The objective should just fall here. They're going to try to pick up the pick in the meantime, but I don't know if this fight favors them. PSG still ready to go. Round 2 not quite going to happen.
It's not as dire as it was in some of the previous games. I still think we're headed to a pretty interesting end to this game. I would slightly favor PSG from this point, but it's like they're out of mistakes.
Yeah. Cheeton has to watch that tower get taken down, but luckily has enough movement speed to get away from that Wukong. Betty continues to push in mid lane. Overall favors PSG, given that they already have a dominant position around this objective.
Still engaged with Leona, but they have no deep push here, so Maple doesn't actually have a strong flank that he can go through. And if you're PSG, you do not want this Drake taking damage. The closer it gets to a flip, the closer you get to losing the game.
Aja on the flank. If he goes in first, it'll be difficult. Now the ulti getting brought out. Junja getting lower and lower. Aja waiting off to the side. Weiser hoping to find that good ulti angle. Curry now taken down. Karyoka going back in. Woody lower and
Drake
lower. 2K on the objective. Can they find a way to finish this one off? Karyoka knocked out of the fight. Betty stepping up. 1-2 shots trying to find the job. The Hextech Drake taken out and taken down by PSG. Weiser and Karyoka trying to make it happen. Maple in the clutch. 1 kill. 2 makes it look easy. 3 overall. The triple. That man in the mid lane. Talk about this team because he's that historic figure, right? He's the guy with the pedigree, but when he's the guy with the hands and the mechanics and the massive 7-0-1 scoreline too, you know PSG, a little bit easier for PSG, I think it's safe to say. 3.5 items getting closer and closer to 4. Their gold lead not insurmountable, but feeling pretty damn close. Still have to respect the potential of Soul, but otherwise, they're in perfect setup to close this one out.
They absolutely are. They haven't made that mistake yet. They have that one mistake still to spin.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they can get Maple, though.
Maple eating the wrong way. That's not what you want to do.
Dracos.
There goes the Zanyas. I cursed him. I cursed him. I'm sorry, PSG fans.
How could he die, he says.
How could he die? the answer is yeah, that's how. He could E the wrong way.
But okay, now, so Aja's Vayne is taking this Drake. Do they try and defend this 4v5 because of the gold lead, or just delay long enough, 40 seconds for Maple to come back alive and teleport in? Because this Soul is up.
paiN have to take this. PSG have to be willing to concede this, and they have to try to fight through a team with Hex Tech Soul. Go for the 50-50 here. Do they win the flit? Lee Sin off on the side. Junja in the midst of the pit. Aja just coming straight over the wall, knocking. Curry's gonna knock him out of the pit, but it's just about who can get the smite in the end. 4K getting lower. It's not low enough yet. Junja trying to focus on the kill. They want to kill the Wukong. They absolutely don't want to have to flip it if they know you. Junja's still alive, though. That's gonna be crucial. She's not getting in the midst of the pit. Junja about to die by the end of the kill on first, but the Baron's still alive. Trying to finally go down. PSG. They don't even need Maple. They're just stronger.
Tunnel vision on the Drake allows Aja's Vayne to just free hit throughout. Oh, Wukong just died to a turret.
5-head, Wukong just died to a tower. They're still gonna end the game. Death timer's been too long. Curry, there's gotta be no way he can hold this one. PSG, it starts with Maple getting picked, but they outplay. Tunnel vision from paiN, focus too much on the objective. Means that PSG will come out on top. Maybe not the cleanest game they were looking for.
Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below.